Good morning, class, and welcome to my first little selfie video to help you and connect you with the Google Classroom for Video Production 101, I guess we'll call it. A new kind of spring. So after several days in lockdown, I hope you're feeling anxious in a good way, that you're ready to get out there and do something creative. Thus far, 3 out of 6 of you enrolled have logged on to Google Classroom and have already started thinking about that selfie that you're going to submit that takes a look at what's going on outside. I'm looking in the park, I'm seeing a mom and a dad and their son kicking a ball, but not a lot else. Usually the park across from my street is jam-packed full of people, nannies pushing strollers and so on. So your job is to take a look at that assignment on the Google Classroom. At any time, if you have questions, simply email me and through the program, and I'll be happy to respond to your questions. The second assignment and the main assignment after that is to really get out there and find new and different and maybe hopeful things with spring upon us. So you are limited, and I would like to say that please adhere to whatever restrictions your parents may give you. If you have a backyard, fantastic, use that. If you are allowed to go out onto the street, maybe a laneway nearby your house, I know a couple of you do have laneways near your house, you might be able to do that as well. If you encounter other people, though, please remember social distancing. So that's a couple of meters, 6 feet apart. Now, I want to just make this brief and ask you, are you a storyboardist or are you a script writer? We already in our first class figured out who's who, I think. Some people like to do both. And I would just ask if you could submit one, either a storyboard or a script. You could submit both, actually, to me through the program. I'm going to be making up lesson 3, which is the first part of editing. There'll be 2 lessons on editing, and the first one is an introduction. So before you do that, you need to submit a general storyboard or a script. Remember, this is just your framework, it's just a structure, and you can deviate or go off in any direction that your creative nature might lead you. So that's that. I'll be writing a little message about that on the Google Classroom right after this movie. And the next thing is that I want you to just look here again. I have talked about this briefly, and it is in the lesson about the way to film if you're using your phone, which I happen to have right here. Okay, so we know that this is portrait and this is landscape. You must shoot in landscape because here's what happens. Look at, I'm in iMovie by the way right now. So this is shot with landscape on my phone. This was a moment when I lost my mind and forgot, like all pros even do occasionally, and I turned my phone this way, probably because I was making ravioli and had too many things on the go. This is what happens. You're shooting the way the phone looks. When you import it into your film, you're going to have this issue. There's no getting around it. Well, there is. You could have a different background other than black, something blurred. It's actually a special effect people do. For our purposes, just film this way. And then, back to it, you've got the entire screen filled. So while we're here, just a friendly reminder, which I showed you the first day of class, Windows Movie Maker looks somewhat like this as well. And if you, I did provide a tutorial for you to look at. There are many out there as well. But this is generally it. Your library is where you have all of your footage that you are uploading, all of your media, your materials, whether it's music or video. So at the top is my media, and then you have audio. This is music that you've imported here. And for me, I have a whole list of things that I've imported. So back to my media, this is your still photos and your video clips. This is the previewer over here, and you just hit the arrow and your space bar and you can play. You can hear the music. That's just playing the one that I have highlighted there at the time. If I want to just play one of the clips, then I click the clip and I can just scroll through it and say, okay, I kind of like this, but I don't like the ending. I'm going to show you, and you're going to watch with the links that I have, easy ways to edit. But taking from the top and or the front and the back is called trimming. And usually if you hover, I'll just tell you now, you can see two little arrows. I hope you can see that. And if you hold your mouse down or your trackpad, you can just bring that in and you'll see the time code at the top. That tells you how much shorter you are decreasing your video clip by in minutes and seconds. So we're not there yet, but I just did want to kind of show you in case you were excited and you wanted to upload your footage that maybe you actually got today. All right then, so good luck with everything. Have fun, and I'm going to ask you, if you haven't already been on, to hopefully get online today.